أهلا بكم، أنا كورين فرحات أرحب بكم. نلقي الضوء في هذه الفقرة على مشروع تصويري عن تجارب اللاجئين العراقيين والسوريين من خلال مبادرة تعاونية مع المصور لوماسون. الجدير بالذكر أن جيم وثق حياة الجنود الأميركيين بعد مغادرتهم العراق وأفغانستان. أما مشروعي الحالي بقايا من مهد الحضارات فيلقي الضوء على وضع اللاجئين أولاً وعلى الصراع النفسي الذي يعاني منه الهاربون من جحيم الحرب تاركين وراءهم كل حياتهم، على أمل أن يكسر هذا المعرض المتنقل والمستمر الصور النمطية ويساهم في بناء الجسور.
When I started working on the project with Iraqi refugees, I thought I would treat it the same way that I did with the American soldiers, a photograph, a portrait, and a story. And I tried that several times with the Iraqi refugees and it didn't work. But one of the refugees had a picture of her family on a shelf, and she wanted me to take a picture of it because she didn't have any other copies. And so I made a copy for her, and I realized that's really what was more important, was this thing that she carried with her from Iraq through Turkey and Jordan and to America. And this thing really meant everything to her.
This one, there's nothing written on it, but it's in Christmas. It's our first Christmas in Syria. So 2003, 2004. And I still have this baby doll, and he made a really big party in the cathedral in Syria in the countryside. He made a big party for the Iraqis who moved from Iraq to Syria and there were refugees in Syria. So he gathered them all that night and he gave gifts to all kids. So it was so lovely. And when I went in, it was my turn to get the gift. They told me that they got me a baby. And I'm like, what, a baby? And he was really happy because he loved the gift too. Yeah, and I did love the gift too.
Yeah, that's the Iraqi map. They have all the cities on it. It's from the south to the north. It was a gift from somebody close to me.
After I did my first photograph with writing, the project basically took on a life of its own. One person referred me to another person, that person referred me to another person, and eventually people started coming to me. And one time when I was in Dearborn, somebody came to me and said, "Are you that guy from Oregon who's helping to tell our stories?" And so he showed me his object, and I photographed it. I made the prints and returned the print to him, and then he wrote his story. And I've been doing this in several cities. I've done it in Boston, Portland, San Diego, Los Angeles, Chicago, and Dearborn. And in every community, we have a number of people who want to share their stories. I've had Iraqi people tell me that I was the first American that gave them the time of day. And then I've also had Americans say, "I've never met any Iraqi people, and I didn't know who they were." People have been demonized, and so when we finally get to meet each other, it builds bridges. There were a few people that after I met with them and talked to them, I think they realized that they or their family back in Iraq could be put in some danger by participating. And so a few people did decide not to participate, but very few. Almost everybody wanted to share their stories.
It was very important to us that this exhibition was both in English and Arabic, important not only to the museum but also to Jim Loomason, the photographer. He wanted to make sure that everyone who came to the exhibition, whether they were an Arabic speaker or an English speaker, could fully understand what this refugee experience was. I do think that some people find it surprising that we have an exhibition fully translated into Arabic at the Illinois Holocaust Museum, but for me it was never a question. And so the plight of Iraqi refugees, Syrian refugees, those that are highlighted in this exhibition are important to us as a museum and what we bring to the public so that the public learns more about refugees from World War II, but current day refugees also.
It's really been interesting how people react to the photographs and the stories. It turns it all into a very human conversation. And one of the things that happens is we break down stereotypes and we see each other as fellow human beings. And if someone meets a person that's from Iraq or Afghanistan and shakes their hand, it does something that nothing else can do. When we look at each other in the eye and we get to know each other, it breaks down all those stereotypes and that stuff just goes away. The items that people bring with them are a new beginning. They start their new lives in a new country. Many people have to learn a new language, find a new home, and these items are kind of the foundation and the memory of their old lives.
أصدقائي جديدين موجودين بأمريكا تختلفون عن أصدقائي الموجودين بالعراق. بالعراق كانوا يعني سنوات طويلة وياهم، بس هنا من 3 سنوات لما جيت لأمريكا بديت سويت أصدقاء جديدين. عددهم قليل، يعني مو أكثر من 3 أصدقاء. صعب كلش إنه إنسان يبني صداقة ببلد جديد بأوضاع مختلفة وينسى أصدقائه. الدومينوز هاي تذكرني دائما بأصدقائي، وبنفس الوقت إنه أصدقائي الجدد اللي دا يلعبوها دائما أحكي لهم عن كل القصص اللي إحنا كنت يعني أعيشها ويا أصدقائي القدماء لما كنا نلعب هاي الدومينو. ودا تبدي قصص جديدة، وأعرف إنه هاي القصص الجديدة راح تكون قصص طويلة واحتمال تكون أطول من القصص اللي عشتها ويا أصدقائي اللي كانوا بالعراق.
المذكرات الجديدة راح تكون عن صعوبة اللغة، من واحد يجي هون صعب، لغة جديدة، حياة جديدة. فمذكرات راح تكون كيف أنا لقيت صعوبة باللغة بالبداية، وكيف أنا خلصت نفسي من هاي الصعوبة وتعلمتها. راح تكون عن اللغة والدراسة أكثر شيء، لأنه هذا الأمل الوحيد اللي عنا نحن بس نغادر بلدنا، هذا الأمل الوحيد اللي عنا لنتمسك فيه. هذا راح يكون مذكراتي الجديدة. الإنسان اللي يعمل ويشتغل على حاله في يعرف وين راح يكون، بس طبعا ما حدا يعرف في الفيوتشر، بس أنت فيك تسويه، فيك تحدد مستقبلك. إذا أنت عندك شيء براسك وبدك تسويه، تشتغل على نفسك، راح توصل للشيء اللي بدك إياه.
The What We Carry project is an ongoing project because the world is in flux and people have to leave their homes. And I don't think there will ever be a time when there won't be refugees. And stories like this need to be told, otherwise they get forgotten. I was at a bilingual poetry reading in Portland, Oregon a couple weeks ago. And one of my Iraqi friends was reading poetry. And he read a poem that he had written. And just in the build up to his poem, just informally, he said something in the middle of a sentence, and he said something like, "I've been working for a peace that will never come." And that really struck me, because most of us are frustrated because we know there will never be world peace. We know we will never end war once and for all. But to know that working for a peace that will never come is still worth the effort. It's still necessary, and it's the mission that we should all be on.
We wanted to live, but we were kicked out. Living with our memories that made my history. That one night that changed my life is forever alive inside my mind. Past and future will always collide every time I raise my eyes and look up to the sky.
مشاهدينا أشكركم على المتابعة. أنا كورين فرحات أودعكم وأذكركم بصفحتنا على الفيسبوك المجلة شو، وإيميل البرنامج المجلة@الحرة.com، وبلاقيكم الأسبوع المقبل.